Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about something not actually writing related. I know, right? Me going off on tangents about things that the channel's not about? Who'd have thought? Also, ignore all this in the background. We still have some Halloween decorations up because I like Halloween and I want it to last as long as possible, and I've already seen people putting up their Christmas trees in like the middle of October and it just really grates on me. Halloween first, guys, then Christmas, okay? Thanksgiving if you're American, but that's a different story, okay? So yeah, if you watched the beginning of my first nano vlog, then you already know the announcement, and you've probably already guessed the announcement from the title of this video. But if you haven't, let me inform you. I'm pregnant! That still sounds so weird to say out loud. I'm pregnant. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys a more a detailed update of what's been going on and where I am in terms of pregnancy and what my experience has been so far. Because I don't know, I love watching like pregnancy vlogs, like the Colleen Ballinger and the Ballinger family, Sav and Cole. Just whenever they're like having a baby and they're documenting the whole thing, I'm just hooked, and I was hooked even before baby. So you know, I don't know. It's not going to be that intense. I mean, God, they go into so much detail, and power to them for that. I just don't have the time or courage to do that. So this is just a little update video of what my pregnancy experience has been like so far. I am just over 22 weeks pregnant. So that is getting into the 5-month mark, I think. I'm not great with numbers. But yeah, I am past the halfway point, and that is kind of terrifying. I actually found out that I was pregnant on the 29th of June, and that sounds so far away, and it was not the most, like, we've been, this isn't, you know, this is a planned pregnancy. This isn't like a, ooh, lockdown baby or anything like that, because come on guys, grow up. I mean, it happens, but no, this was planned. We've been trying for a few months before the pandemic even started, so it just didn't make sense to us to stop trying for a baby because we'd already been trying for a few months and no one knew how long this pandemic was gonna last, okay? But yeah, I found out on the 29th of June, and after a few months of, you know, disappointments and being like, oh my God, I'm gonna be pregnant, I'm pregnant, and then not being pregnant, it was crushing. Every time it was crushing, and it was getting to a point where I was starting to wonder, is there something wrong with me? Is this something that I'm actually able to do? But then you can't go to a doctor about it until you've been trying for at least a year. And then with all the pandemic and everything starting up, we were like, well, doesn't look like we're going to be getting a doctor even if we had been trying for a year, so oh well. I think you've probably heard this story before when Tom was in the video with me for the start of the nano vlog, so if you want to skip past all this, then go for it, but this is just for the people who haven't heard all this yet. So yeah, 29th of June, Tom was and still is working from home, so he was in his office, and I'd been feeling really weird that day. I'd been feeling very like crampy and like sharp shooting pains in my lower abdomen, and I was like, oh, that's not right. That's weird. That's weird. And I didn't want to take a pregnancy test because I still had another week to go before the whole missed period thing. Yes, we're going to be talking about periods occasionally. Just get over it. So yeah, I had a week to go until I was going to maybe miss my period. I didn't know. So I was like, I don't really want to take a pregnancy test because I don't want to build myself up for that kind of disappointment. And also they say to not take a test until at least a week after your missed period to have the most accurate results. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to have a hot shower instead because that will relax the muscles and everything, and that will hopefully make me feel a little bit more at ease. So, you know, fine. Did you really expect me to wait? We all know I have zero patience. I have zero patience. So I took the test, went in the shower, and halfway through my shower, I poked my head out to look at the test, and it said, pregnant. I broke down in the middle of my shower, so there's just me, like, proper, like, you know, rom-com, the girl's just been dumped, kind of sitting in the shower, crying, happy crying, but just like, oh my god, and trying to be so quiet because Tom was in the next room working in his office. So I didn't want to, so, you know, I finished my shower, got dressed and everything, tried to calm down, and I didn't want to go in and tell him straight away because he was in the middle of work, and I was like, I'm not going to interrupt him. I'm going to try and find a nice way to tell him. So he finished work, we went up to the shops, and I got a cinnamon bun. A cinnabon. Because he likes cinnamon buns, it's one of his favourites. So I got some of those, and we came back. We had food. It was in the evening at this point, and I put the cinnabon in the oven. Bun in the oven. So yeah, I put the bun in the oven, when sat back down again, and I was like, oh Tom, so I've got something in the oven for you if you wanted to go and have a look. And he's just sitting there, oh, I'm okay, I'm still really full from dinner, so I think I might give it a miss. I'm like, oh well, it's in the oven if you did want to at least have a look at it. He's like, okay, so he gets up and he goes, Amy, you know the oven's not on, right? I was like, yes, I know the oven's not on, just have a look what's in there. He opens the oven. It's still in the package. Is this oven safe? Boy! I'm like, yes, what is in the oven? He's like, oh, a cinnamon roll. What's another name for a cinnamon roll, Tom? A cinna roll? This went on for quite some time. Until he finally landed on a cinnabon. I was like, yes, cinnabon. Where's the bun? And he goes, it's in the oven. And then he just looks at me, and then I've only seen him cry once, years ago, and he started tearing up and asked me, are you pregnant? And I started crying and said yes. And it was really sweet when he finally got what the hell I was trying to do with this stupid pun. So that was our story. No, it was a really fun, crazy day, and it feels so long ago now, and I loved every moment of it. So yeah, I was only about 3 weeks at the time, so still super early, and hospitals don't arrange anything for you, at least here, until you're past the 8-week mark, so I had to wait over another month. At this point we were sort of going back to work, but not, so that was really stressful. I did tell work straight away, they were fine. Then, because of the pandemic, normally you have a midwife or a health visitor come to your house and ask you a bunch of questions about your family health history, do a few little tests here and there just to sort of, you know, get your file started. They couldn't do that because you can't have people come to your house anymore, especially medical professionals, unless it's actually an emergency. So I had to do all this over the phone, which felt so weird and alien, but it was fine. You know, it was sorted, we had our file started, we had a date for our first scan. So at this point I am stressing over every little thing. In the first few weeks I experienced a lot of stomach cramps. I felt very hot and cold constantly. I didn't get a lot of like headaches, but I was very tired all the time, and yeah, it was just very bizarre. I'd never really, because I was saying, for like period pain and stuff like that is one thing, but I'd never really gotten full-on cramps before, and this was just a whole new level. That is probably very normal for women who do get cramps on a regular basis. I didn't get cramps regularly when it was my time of the month or anything like that, so this was just like, oh god, what is happening? And the morning sickness. The morning sickness started, thankfully, when work broke up for the summer holidays again. So I work as part of a school, and when the school has their summer holidays and stuff like that, we have to close as well. So like a few days before the summer holidays started, I was feeling really queasy, like seasick kind of queasy, where your stomach feels like it's doing this and you're just there like, ugh. And that was not a fun experience. I had not the worst morning sickness I've ever heard of, but it was pretty bad. I would wake up in the mornings and maybe have two mouthfuls of cereal before feeling like I cannot physically eat anymore. This is torment. And then by lunchtime I'd either been sick twice, or I'd have my half of my lunch and then be making a beeline to the bathroom, and then I was sick maybe. It would take breaks, so I'd still feel nauseous, but the actual sickness would take breaks. So for the first maybe, I don't know, from week 6 to week 13, it was a chunk. But for those few months, I'd have a few days where I'd feel really, really queasy, and I'd be sick maybe once or twice a day. And then I'd have 2 days or maybe 3 days where I'd be completely fine. I'd be okay. I could eat whatever I wanted. I could go for a long walk. I'd be perfectly fine. But then as soon as that little peace bubble ended, it would be straight back to, I can't eat anything. I'm gonna be sick. I have been sick. I'm waking up in the middle of the night feeling like I'm gonna be sick, but I'm not being sick. I've got nothing else to bring up, so I'm just heaving. It was horrible. I have heard of worse cases, like my poor mother, for both me and my sister. She was really badly sick throughout the entirety of the pregnancy, and I thought I was going to be the same, but luckily after the first scan things started to settle. Today I've been feeling a bit queasy, but I've never been put off food. I haven't been put off food since, which is good, because we all know I love my food. This was the first scan. She was only 64 millimeters. Yes, I say she because we found out that we were having a little girl, and I'm excited and terrified because I was a hella of a child. And I've got 3 little sisters, and they were all hellas as well. So if she's anything like the women in my family, she is going to be my mother's perfect revenge for all the times I gave her hell, because she's going to give me hell. I know it now. But she was tiny. She was like, I don't know, the size, this little bean. She was just a bean. You're a bean. Yeah, the scan showed that everything was healthy, and Tom was listening, because there's a lot of things with maternity at the moment where the partner is not allowed in with you because of COVID. So luckily he was allowed in with me for the first scan, and it went well. He could hold my hand, we had our masks on, and we could just see her on screen, and we were just so surprised at how wriggly she was, like just so active, and giving the nurse a hard time. Like, I think she's going to be like me, like whenever someone's like, oh, smile for the camera, I'm like, no, she says with a YouTube channel. But yeah, I think she's going to be like me. Every time a camera comes out, she's like, oh, no. So she kept rolling over and turning away. But yeah, she was healthy, she was great, and it was such a bizarre experience, and I went for blood tests and everything like that to fill out more of the file. It was all good. It was a bizarre experience. We were there for a few hours, but she was worth it. The second scan was only a couple of weeks ago, the 27th of October, and I was terrified about this one because the letter that came through to give us our appointment said, no one is allowed in with you. You have to do this on your own, extra precautions and all that, your partner can't come in. And I felt so bad because this was the big scan. This was the one that was going to tell us if there were any abnormalities, any medical issues, if there was going to be something wrong with her, if there was going to be something wrong with me. It was terrifying, and it was also heartbreaking because we wanted to find out if we were having a boy or a girl. And to know that I'd be going in alone, that I would find out before Tom, I felt so guilty, and it's out of my control, but it is what it is. But Tom still did come to the hospital with me. The hospital has a Costa coffee attached to it, so he was like, we'll go in together, I'll wait here, just let me know if you need anything, keep your phone with you. And I thought, okay, so I'm still gonna try and make this fun. So I wore a blue vest with, I don't know, the only pink t-shirt I own is my Race for Life one, and it's like 5 sizes too big for me. So I thought, okay, so blue for boy, purple for girl. I had my blue vest on and a purple t-shirt over it so that when I leave the scan and I go to meet him in Costa, I can, you know, unzip my jacket and then show if I'm wearing purple or blue, just so it's kind of a gender reveal for him as well, because I didn't want him to be left out as much as he already had. So yeah, we went in together. He went into Costa, I went into the ultrasound waiting room and everything, and there was this lovely couple that had just come out, and they were looking at their photos and being so happy. Again, we had our masks on and everything, and we started talking. And I said, oh, were you okay going in on your own? Because honestly, I'm terrified. And she went, are you on your own? I was like, no, my partner is, my husband's outside waiting, but the letter said that I wasn't allowed to have anyone with me. And she went, oh yeah, we had that letter too, but if it's baby related and if it's the father of the baby, then, you know, he's allowed in with you. I was like, oh, okay. So them two had just gone in together and we're all happy and fine. And here's me sitting on my own. She was like, oh, is he here now? I was like, yeah, he's just at the Costa. She went, bless her, she was so sweet. She went, oh, I'll tell the nurse of what's going on. You go run and get him. So I have to run out through the hospital to navigate my way back to the Costa just to find him. And he's like sitting there with his coffee already, just looking at me like, you know, thinking, God, that was freaking fast. Or is everything okay? And I was just like, get in here now. So we go in, and it's a bit different from the last time because there's this big clear screen, which he then has to sit behind. So we're in the room together, we can both see the TV, we can both see the scan. He's just sitting behind a screen, so he can't like hold my hand or anything like that, which, you know, again, I'm an emotional cow, so I really wanted to like have that bit of support there, but the fact that he was in the room with me was such a relief, and for him to be able to see everything was just so good. And again, so healthy. She was so healthy and wriggly again, and just trying to give the nurse a hard time by like, you know, I don't want to be filmed today, go away, and like rolling over. And we got some good pictures, which I will show you. This was the second one, and even compared to the first one, so this was the first scan, this is the second, like she has grown, and look at this strong spine. Look at this strong little spine right there. She's gonna be sturdy. You can see like her little hand reaching out there as well, and oh god, it's just it's so bizarre to go from this to this. So yeah, everything was healthy, she was great, she was, like I said, wriggling and active and like opening her mouth and doing the little grabby hands thing, and you saw these tiny little feet. And yeah, she was good. She was great. And that's when they told us, you know, it's not 100% accurate, because they have to say that just in case, you know, people tried to sue or something like that. She went, it's not 100% accurate, but from what I can tell, you are having a little girl. And I was really surprised at first, honestly, because I was so sure that we were having a boy. I didn't have a preference either way. A boy, girl, you know, it doesn't bother me. In this day and age, no matter what they're born as, they might not stay that way. If they decide, you know, if they're born a girl and they decide one day, no, I'm in the body of a girl, but I want to be a boy, or, you know, something like that, then fine. In this day and age, there is no such thing as black and white. So right now we're having a girl. It doesn't bother me. But whenever I talked about my pregnancy, I always said he. Not because of a preference and not because I had a feeling or anything like that, it's just what came out. And I don't know why. Occasionally I slipped up and said she, but it was very rare. So when the nurse said, yeah, you're having a girl, I was like, oh, okay then. Tom was happy, my family was happy, my mum found it hilarious because she was like, ha, good luck, now you're going to be dealing with all the teenage drama issues. I'm like, thanks for that, Mum. Oh, my sisters were over the moon. My dad was, I think he was a bit disappointed, but then the man's had 3 girls. The man's had 3 girls, so I think he really wanted a boy in the family. We'll try for the next one. Sorry, Dad. But yeah, and now here we are, like 2-3 weeks later, and past the halfway point. None of my jeans fit me. None of my clothes fit me anymore, really. T-shirts are fine because I always wore slightly baggy t-shirts anyway. I cannot find maternity clothes for shit. Even online, I don't like fully trust them because ordering stuff at the moment is a bit iffy with the pandemic. So I am using hair bubbles to like make my jeans stretch a little bit more. I have a pair of jeggings that are just like my best friend. For work, I have to go like 2 sizes up in for my work trousers, so they fit me fine around the middle, but the legs are so long that they're just flapping as I'm walking, which, you know, the children find hilarious, but oh, I've had cravings. I have had cravings. My first craving was when I was about 6 weeks, and out of nowhere, like, you know, this sounds so disgusting, and I didn't eat it. I'd like to point out now that I did not eat it. I stopped myself because even then I was disgusted. But you know the peri mayonnaise, the Nando's mayonnaise, whatever it's called? I really wanted that on toast. I wanted peri mayonnaise on toast. For some reason, now I love toast, I love peri mayonnaise. The two do not go together. And I fully understood that, so I stopped myself. I was like, there's no way in hell am I actually putting that in my body. No, bad baby. So I wanted it, but I refused. I was like, no, not doing it. Since then, cheese, friggin' hell, cheese. I don't know what it is, but bloody cheese. I want cheese on everything. I have been eating cheese toasties like no tomorrow. I want extra cheese on everything. Cheesy pasta bakes are just the best damn thing. Even cheese and onion crisps. Just cheese. Don't know what to tell you. Cheese. Also, dipping cookies in milk, which, you know, we've all done, but it's something that I haven't done in ages, and it just takes me right back to being a kid, and I was just there like, I really want cookies. This is missing something. So I'm a grown 27-year-old woman watching, I don't know, like a Britain's Got Talent or something, just dipping my cookies in milk with my cheese toastie on the side. And something else, I haven't had any, and it's not so much a craving, more that I just miss it, but being pregnant, it's like you can't have sushi and you can't have like deli meats or something, and even Subway, even when they heat up your sandwich, it doesn't heat up to a point that is safe for pregnancy. Who knew? So since I've been told this, all I want is the little sushi trays that you can get from any supermarket, or a big foot-long Subway. Oh, but I can't have it, so it's just making it worse. Extra cheese, please. Those are the main cravings I've had. Just lots of cheese, milk and cookies, and that one weird time with Pyrenees. Also sour sweets. I really love sour sweets. I love them anyway, but now I need my sour sweets. Need it. Pregnancy body is so weird because I have a bump now. I'm not getting up because getting up is effort, so you're gonna have to watch my nano vlog to see the bump because I'm sitting down, I'm comfy, I'm tired, I'm not getting up again, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's just bizarre because now, I was never the skinniest person anyway, and I fully accept that, but now the bump is so firm. It's like you can like full on like nudge and it just feels like it's solid. Like there's a little bit of give to it because obviously like body fat and stuff like that, but it's very firm, and then it's weird. So you got your bump and it's all firm, but then right at the top, like where just before, you know, your skin turns into your boobs, it's spongy. It's like really spongy and it's so weird. It's like spongy firm. I have felt flutters and movement, which is really bizarre, but I kind of love it. So I'll just be sitting there and like when Tom's asleep, and I mean like deep sleep, and he rolls over, he does this thing where he'll roll over onto his side and move his arm like that to curl up, and I feel her doing that kind of movement. So like her arm is like stroking against the top of like where my stomach is, so I feel her like move, and I feel this slide and then a little shift, like a little wiggle, like she's getting comfy. And after I eat something spicy or sugary, I feel like little wriggles and nudges. I can't call them full kicks yet because I don't think she's big enough for that, but I do feel a lot of movement, and it's very bizarre. And I think Tom's getting to the point where he's a little bit like, well, when am I gonna feel it? And I'm like, soon, only a few more weeks, then you'll start feeling kicks as well. But it's bizarre, it is weird, and I know that will probably freak a lot of people out, the idea of something moving inside you that's alive, but I kind of love it. I've loved being pregnant. I don't know what to say. I really enjoy being pregnant, and yeah, the back pain is not great. I have developed a form of sciatica, I think it's called, in my hips. So now I'm at the point where I can no longer lie on my back, and I obviously can't lie on my front. And when I go to sleep, I'm either curled up on this side or curled up on that side. So whichever side I'm on, the opposite hip from my waist to just above my knee goes completely numb. Like you can knock that thing, and I don't feel it at all. And then it gets sore and achy, and I wake up in the night and it's like that numb ache where you just can't ignore it. So I roll onto the other side, and then I start to get feeling back, and then I start to go to sleep, and then I wake up, and then this hip has done it. So I'm waking up constantly in the night to change sides and roll over, and I don't have a pregnancy pillow yet. I do want to order one, but I just haven't got one yet. So I've got like my big couch sofa cushion in between my legs to try and balance things out, but it's just not working anymore, and that's super fun. Back pain is not great, bending up and down, like especially when I'm working with the kids and they need attention and they're toddlers, so you're crouching down all the time, and it hurts. It doesn't hurt like, oh god, I'm in agony, but it's this constant ache that you just can't ignore, and it does drain you. But yeah, despite the 2 months of sickness at the start and the hip pain now, I'm really enjoying being pregnant. But it's so bizarre thinking that whatever I'm experiencing now during pregnancy during a pandemic is not going to be the same for when and if we have a second child. This entire pregnancy experience is going to be something completely different, and that's so weird to me. Because I still haven't had a health visitor or a midwife come to the house. It's all been over the phone. It's been very brief, it's been very quick, because obviously they have so many people to deal with, but the fact that we still can go in together for scans is really reassuring. And yeah, she's due on the 10th of March, which, looking at it, you're thinking, oh, March is ages away, March is next year, but then you think about how quickly this year has gone, and then you're like, oh my god, she's due in March, that's not much time at all. Oh, pregnancy body's weird. You feel shifting, you feel twinges, there will be moments of extremely sharp pain that you're thinking, oh my god, something's wrong, but no, it is just everything stretching out and your entire body rearranging to make room for its adorable new tenant. And yeah, it's been slightly terrifying in parts, because this is my first time. I don't know what to expect and I don't fully know what's going on, but my family have been so supportive, and I hate that I can't see them because of more lockdown. It's been tough. Again, that's going to be a different experience with a different child, because I'll actually be able to see family. But yeah, they've been great. We've been trying to see each other, social distancing as much as we can, talking over Zoom and stuff like that as well. I've been keeping them updated on everything, and they've been really great giving me advice and helping me out in places, and they've been fantastic. So yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say at the moment. The moment baby is just a little bit bigger than the size of an eggplant, I think. So, according to my app anyway, my app is absolutely bonkers. It relates things to the strangest of sizes, but there we go. And yeah, I'm really excited and I'm really looking forward to this. So that was just a little look into how things have been for me for the first few months. Well, I say few months now, for the first half of pregnancy. And it's so weird that I was pregnant during the entirety of Camp NaNoWriMo July and vlogged the entire thing, and no one noticed because I hadn't had a bump yet. And her ultrasound pictures have been on this board here for months and no one has noticed. And it's been great. It feels like I've been setting up this little scavenger hunt for you guys and I love it. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm doing good. And I can't wait for the next scan, whenever that will be. And I can't wait to share more pregnancy and baby experiences with you guys in the future. And yeah, I'm gonna end it here before I get all emotional and sappy. But yes, I hope you're doing well, I hope you're staying safe, and I hope this wasn't too boring or weird for you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to keep you guys informed, considering I've been keeping you in the dark for so long, and I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, my scribblers.